That was a misleading trailer.
Yeah.
Like one of the more misleading trailers I've seen.
Yeah, I wouldn't even qualify this as a horror
Not
movie.
at all.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Yeah, not even close.
There was nothing horror about this movie. Hello and welcome to The Talkies, where three filmmakers talk about movies. I'm Kenny.
I am D.
I'm Taylor.
There's a Discord in chat. Is that what you...
No, it's actually more like there's a Discord chat.
And now you know. Now you know.
No. Please don't go. There's a Discord chat. No. There is a Discord. We speak on movies in the Discord. You can Discord
with us
and at least one other person.
There's one other person in there now at this moment.
We speak on movies.
You guys have done an excellent job of selling that.
There's a Discord link in the description. Go over there and chat with us about movies.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Boom.
It's that time for Hot Takes.
Oh, right. You have a graphic that you put in.
Yeah, I just introduced it.
Hot takes. Yeah, okay, so we just watched this movie. Mm-hmm. Me and you did.
Yep.
And I also watched it prior.
Yep.
Oh, you see it
Actually, I saw it at the same time you did, too.
Yeah, we saw it on the same day by chance.
Yeah. I thought this movie has a lot of things in it that I have to comment about. Yeah.
That is a
scolding.
boring ass hot take.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
It's because I'll say I like this movie in theory. How about that?
Hot as a wet blanket.
Okay, that's more of a take.
Go.
My hot take is that I liked this movie for the most part. Okay. I thought it was kind of cool.
Neat. All right.
Maybe even neat.
Okay. Wait.
Wow.
Better than
Maybe
cool.
even neat.
Maybe.
Cool, neat.
Neat is much cooler.
Okay.
All right.
My hot take, pretty neat concept, executed fairly well, and a stupid story.
This is like the most boring takes ever.
Yeah. We're fired up about presents, man. We're fired up.
I have a lot to say about this.
I do too. Yeah, there's a lot to say.
I want to start with so Soderbergh's first experimental film, from what I've gathered. Does he do things like this often? So I know he did Logan Lucky, right? And he does something else that I liked. I can't remember.
He did the Oceans trilogy.
Thank you. Yeah, Oceans, yeah.
Sex, Lies, and Videotapes. Che.
That's a
two-parter.
Yeah, that's a famous one.
It's supposed to be really good.
Anyway, yeah. So
this movie's not like those movies.
No, it's not. Yeah, it was weird because when the trailer played for this one, I remember the vibe of it being like really, what's the word? Unnerving horror.
Yeah, that was a misleading trailer.
Yeah.
Like one of the more misleading trailers I've seen.
Yeah, I wouldn't even qualify this as a horror
Not
movie.
at all.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Yeah. Yeah, not even close.
There was nothing horror about this movie.
Right, which was weird because
drama.
They had a bunch of red band horror movie trailers played before this one.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Yeah, in fact, I was getting a beer before the movie, and the lady at the bar was like a big horror geek.
Yeah.
And she was like, "What movie are you seeing?" And I'm like, "Presents." And she's like, "Oh, I'm seeing that tonight. It's the last horror movie I haven't seen yet. I'm so excited to see it."
Wish you could tell her.
And when I came out, I'm like, "Ooh, she's not gonna like it." Like, she had like a Freddy tattoo and stuff.
Right.
It's not gonna be her jam.
It's not a horror movie. Yeah, it's a family drama, and I have a lot to say about a lot of the things. So should I just start talking?
Yeah, I think we're all probably going to start on the same thing. So go ahead.
Okay. Well, my first thing is the acting.
Oh, that wasn't it for me, but go ahead.
I hated some of the acting. I like the dad. Mm-hmm. I thought he was great.
He was good.
I feel like it was written like as if we had like the traditional roles of a busy dad and a emotionally available mom. But I feel like they switched those roles on purpose for some reason. I don't know why. That just comes to mind. The other thing is that the mom in here I thought was terrible. I thought she was a terrible actress. And I thought the son was terrible.
Who is an excellent actress, by the way.
Yeah, Lucy Liu.
Yeah, okay. Well, so that's the thing, though, right, is that she was acting... It's a hard thing to say, but it's like when an actor... Oh, it's bad directing, I guess is what it is. when an actor has what's in their mind, or what's playing out on the screen, and then they act that way. Oh, we saw this in Megalopolis a lot. There was a lot of, like, Aubrey Plaza was in a different world, whereas everybody, all the other actors were not there.
Yeah.
It felt like everybody was in their own world. Is it Lucy Liu? Is that what you said? Yeah, damn, I didn't know that. She had a mindset of where she was supposed to be, and it was different than everybody else. I felt like she was on stage and she was playing to hits of the camera, like beats. I felt like she kept talking to camera beats, and she, like the opening. You remember the real estate agent, right? The real estate agent also played to camera beats, where she ran over here, made sure to do her hair flip at the right moment when the camera got to this point. It was a lot of that, and it was a lot of that with the speaking on Lucy Liu's part. And I felt like that really took away from everything, because it felt like she was speaking. It felt like she was doing a performance piece, much like
Tar.
Yeah. So in Tar, Cate Blanchett, she was like acting for camera beats, which it was supposed to be that, but it felt terrible because it's bad directing, and that's what this was too. So I don't feel like Steven knows how to direct this type of movie. And because of that, I think it really pulled away from the acting, and it made it feel less realistic to me for that reason.
I wonder how much of that had to do with being preoccupied with the gimmick.
No, 100%, I think, is what it was.
And I liked the gimmick. I mean, like,
I thought the gimmick was fine.
I thought it was a very cool idea. And I'd say within the first 10 minutes, I was having empathy for the invisible character. Like, I was starting to connect to this floating POV. And I'm like, this is working. This is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because I'm starting to actually experience a character who's not even in the movie.
Right. Yeah. The camera as a character, like, literally.
except they broke their own rules several times, where the ghost literally, like, turned into a camera.
Right.
Like when those camera beats met up a little too perfectly.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And like when like if you're a ghost, you want to make sure to line up so you can see both people talking to each other in the same shot.
Like but sometimes they did it really well.
Yeah.
But then other times I was like, oh, you just like adjusted to a 2-shot.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
so,
Yeah.
Chime in about what you loved.
Yeah. You said immediately when you and I had watched the movie separately at the same day, I said I didn't like it. You said you liked it.
I did. I liked it.
Tell me why.
Because I think it surprised me a little bit. I didn't have really high expectations. And I think it did that idea pretty well. Like, it just executed the idea of the whole movie's from the ghost perspective really well. I felt like it was pretty consistent. I liked all the performances except for the teenage boys.
Yeah, I didn't like his.
I didn't like
Tyler.
them. Everyone else I liked, and thought did a really good job. Some of the camera work was like a little shaky, but I feel like that's just kind of not relevant.
I don't think so.
I liked what happens when you have the camera be a character, and specifically when you have the camera be a ghost. You can do fun things when you have like a medium look into the lens.
Right.
I thought that was really cool. Especially like when she gets to the house and she gets out of the car and she looks through the window right into the camera. It's the first thing her eye is drawn towards. As a medium, I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I dug the
use
medium
of
sequence.
Yeah.
Storytelling.
I did too.
That was one of the moments where it felt like a palpable like eeriness.
Right.
I think I like this because it felt like a real experimental movie.
Totally. It totally did. Yeah.
And I thought the experiment was largely successful.
So I saw Companion the day after I saw this, originally when I saw it, and I liked Companion better, even though it's a very traditional movie in a sense of it's not doing anything wacky and crazy out there. It's a movie. But I enjoyed my time in there way more than Presence, because I felt like the pieces weren't coalescing a lot. I really liked the things that they were trying to do, but I didn't really care for them. Much like Megalopolis. Megalopolis was like a movie that was fun to see in action, but I did not enjoy my time there, right?
Yeah, I found myself much getting wrapped up into the story with how it was presented.
I have a big problem with the story, mainly because of my second time watching it. This time watching it, because I have I mean, agree or disagree. I want to know what you guys think. I felt like the story was focused super heavily on the mystery of the ghost and who it was, why it was there, and the purpose, their intent, basically. Was that what you would say?
That was the setup of the first 2/3 of the movie, I'd say.
Yeah. Is that what you would say the whole movie is about?
That and it's either that or it is the daughter's what was her Chloe?
Yeah.
Chloe's grief and which could have been tied in to this ghost if it was her deceased friend, And but yeah, to your point, it felt like the story didn't really have a thing to say ultimately, and it got really muddy with the whole murderer boyfriend at the end. And once he went on his like full reveal, I'm a 3-time murderer monologuing while I suffocate you. I felt like we'd gone full like TV movie. Like I hated his performance. I hated the dialogue. I was just like, this is stupid.
I thought it was fine, the dialogue and stuff like that. I didn't like the reveal too much. I didn't really care that much. I mostly...
Because that's not the resolution to the story they were telling.
Well, so that's the thing, right, is the resolution. The resolution is Tyler being the ghost, right? That's the big that's the big reveal. That's the big twist.
What? Tyler's the ghost at the end.
Yeah.
I was assuming that's a second ghost.
Okay, see, when I drove out of the theater, I was wondering, I wonder if they meant 2 separate ghosts.
That's what I think.
That's literally what you guys think?
It has to be.
Because Tyler's alive and at the table with
In fact, I think there might be 3 ghosts.
Unless you think they're doing a Bruce Willis sort of thing.
That's really interesting to me.
Yeah, because what I saw was there's this ghost that is there, the POV from the whole movie, right?
Yeah.
Who has something that has to be done. And I guess that was somehow tied into saving Chloe's life. Okay? Because that's what the ghost does.
Yeah.
Wakes up Tyler, sends Tyler upstairs.
Yeah.
Tyler saves, right? So that ghost is gone now. And so when we come back in from black and Chloe's walking around the empty house, they're getting ready to leave, but we're still in the floating ghost POV. It's meant to be a little bit of a fake, like, oh, the ghost is still there. But then they revealed, no, now the ghost is Tyler because Tyler died.
I have a completely different reading of that.
Well, it's because it was a poorly told story.
It may have been. The thing, I thought it was obvious, but I guess that's what Taylor always thinks whenever we see surreal movies. You were saying, sorry?
You can have multiple readings.
What?
I disagree.
And it can be good storytelling.
Only one thing can be true at a time. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yes, you can have different readings. The reason why? So the logic of the story for me worked in a way that the whole POV sequence, we kept cutting to black every time that there was just a jump in time, right? And then at the very end, we see that Tyler is a ghost. The only time that we've ever had a reveal of any type of the ghost, and then. They come out of the house and then go toward the sky, which I imagine is the ghost going, okay, I did my stuff, now I can leave. And there was this big moment of the medium who said, the ghost is lost. They don't know where they are in time. And that was another thing. I was like, why does that matter? And then she talked about the window. The window's a big thing. And I was like, when does the window come into play? And then Tyler, dies when he goes out of the window. So that was the big reveal. I felt like it was like, okay, so Tyler was the ghost the whole time and he's trying to save his sister, but then I'm like, but then none of this makes sense. And it feels like a time travel movie.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. But I think that's what they're trying to say, and I think that's stupid.
I don't think that's what they're trying to say.
I think it is.
You can think that.
No. You can think think that.
Well, I think what you interpreted and what I interpreted are both stupid.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I would agree. I would agree. If I were to interpret this differently, to where the ending wasn't so finalized, because we had payoffs in the end that were not present in any other part of the movie, where we have the mirror, where we have the ghost finally leaving the house. Those 2 shots do not exist in the beginning at all. It's very much a ghost that is within the house.
Yeah.
and just does this a lot.
Tyler's mission is fulfilled because he scared his mom really bad.
Right.
You know, now I can leave.
Right. Like if that was the story, that wouldn't make any sense, right? But with Tyler, if Tyler's ghost was the thing that is leading up to this moment where he kills the other guy, it doesn't. I don't see any reason for the story to be told at that point. I don't get why they're telling us the story. I don't know what I'm supposed to come back with. There was a whole plot point of what the dad saying. What if one of the spouses is doing something illegal with the guy on the phone?
Yeah, we never got anything about what that was about.
And the story's not about Tyler, and it's very much focused on Chloe. And I don't understand why they're saying any of it. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I also dislike that the ghost seemingly had a lot of free will in terms of how they could influence the world around them, moving books, cleaning up,
only sometimes
knocking down a shelf, knocking over a glass of orange juice,
right?
But had to go wake up Tyler to save the day. Like
I was, you could
with the logic, scare the shit out of this guy by just floating some books around his head right now, and
it seemed very arbitrary.
So it felt very arbitrary.
There's two other movies I felt like that did this gimmick way better, and it was A Ghost Story, which isn't exactly similar, but I liked A Ghost Story way better. I thought about
A Ghost Story a lot while watching this.
Yeah, I like A Ghost Story way better than this. Me and too. Then Enter the Void also.
Yeah, that's the movie I thought of a lot. Was Enter
I felt
the Void.
like, and that came out way before, and that's way better, I feel like, than this. And I felt like they're doing almost the exact same thing. I haven't seen the whole of Enter the Void, but yeah.
Enter the Void's a lot. It's kind of different, but very similar.
Yeah.
Another thing about the ghost is they lead you to believe that it's Nadia.
Yeah.
They tease that it's Nadia.
It doesn't have to be. It could just be.
No, I think it's Tyler.
No, it doesn't have to be. It could be a completely unrelated ghost.
I wish it was.
And I assume that's what.
Well, it can be.
It can be. Right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, because they never gave us anything to say that it actually was Nadia.
Yeah.
Even the medium, when the medium said, "What?"
I'm thinking they gave us enough to say it was Tyler's. When I'm gonna.
I think you're crazy.
Die on this.
I think you're crazy. You can die on that.
I'm gonna look this up
because
it makes no
Tyler
sense for the rest.
Walking
he's
alive
in the movie
through the whole movie.
Yeah. Why else would she say about?
Why
the whole
would the
time
ghost
thing?
of Tyler wake up Tyler? Why would the ghost of Tyler be drugged?
Exactly.
So it's not Tyler.
I think it's dumb. Yeah.
Man, you're making Soderbergh not only to be a bad writer, but to be like a drunk writer.
I think that's what it is. I'm going to look this up because I'm really curious. But you were saying
you're going to look up who played the ghost?
No, well, yeah, I'm going to see what they say what the synopsis is of the movie. Yeah.
That's where all the answers.
In
the synopsis.
So the movie that we talked about interpretations the most of was Mother, right? Because Mother is basically just one big metaphor, right? Sure. Which can be read in many different ways, I suppose. Yeah. But what the writer intended, I thought, was really stupid, and I think all three of us thought that was pretty stupid, right? That Aronofsky was saying, "Hey, Bible stuff," right? And that was basically it. But I read it way differently. I read it way more personal, and it made a lot more sense. And I negated. I did not want to hear his interpretation. I didn't give a shit about the Bible stuff. I attached myself to my reading because that made most sense to me. I wish I could attach myself to a different reading here, but I can't get away from this idea that I felt like was so plainly obvious, and so it makes this movie really balls to me for that reason.
The movie was balls to me anyway.
Well, I got the exact same interpretation that Kenny got, and this is the first time me and him are talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 2 against 1.
2v1.
That's true. It is 2v1.
So the majority rule.
Yeah, that's true. That's
majority
true. Okay,
therefore,
I guess I'll show my belly. So
belly. Yeah. Thank you.
Majority
thank
rule.
you. Majority rule.
Majority rule.
Majority rule.
Majority
Majority rule.
So what happens then if I look it up and what happened that I thought happened?
Well, if you get more votes,
then D.
Yeah, then it's 2v2.
Then I'm about to go fight Soderbergh. Tell him he's wrong.
I'm just
saying, find the votes and bring them.
I'm gonna look it up.
All right.
All the answers are in the synopsis.
It is.
All the answers.
The writer's intention is in the synopsis.
While you
I don't
do
think
that,
the writers write the synopsis.
While you do that, I will segue us to a different topic while you look that up.
Okay.
the character of the boyfriend revealed to be murderer just felt so cliche manufactured of a character that I've seen in so many things. Like I could have almost guessed that there would be a school shooting in this movie.
Yeah.
When he did his first little rant about how alone he feels, I'm like, oh, he's a school shooter. We're gonna have a school shooting in this. And then he was just like, no, I'm just I only murder one person at a time, you know. And
I'm not a school shooter.
Of course, you're the murderer.
What the fuck was the prank that he did that was supposed to be so terrible? I didn't get any of that from some.
Right. Yeah. So there was a lot of like bulky exposition that does nothing to the story.
Yeah.
Really. Right. So that whole prank storyline, the whatever illegal shit the dad was doing on the side or something, you know?
Right.
He's like mixed up with the mafia or what? Like, why are you setting this up and not giving us anything? It's like, it's distracting.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing to give a bunch of detail that makes the character more three-dimensional, right? Like, if they're a real person, there's going to be a lot of threads that we don't connect to, right? Because they're a real person. They're going to talk about so-and-so at work. We don't have to meet so-and-so at work. It just makes them a real person, believable. But when it's something like, I'm doing an illegal thing and I don't want to implicate my wife, I'm going to call a lawyer out on the back porch and freak out about it. I'm like, now I'm just distracted. I feel like we're starting a new movie and we didn't finish that movie, you know?
Okay, so something to say here. There's an interview with David Coop,
he wrote the script.
the screenwriter.
Is his credentials though?
His
Did he really have anything to do with the movie?
He wrote it.
Are you asking if he's in the
I'm sure.
WGA?
Yeah.
GQ interview says there's a question.
GQ, that rag.
There's a question that says, I found it really rewarding to watch this a second time knowing that Tyler is the ghost. You start to pathologize why he's making certain choices. Is that how you approached filming as a ghost, knowing that you were Tyler the whole time? Steven Soderbergh says, yeah, right. David and I talked about this. If you see the movie a second time and you know it's Tyler, he gets upset at the story that he's telling about the girl that he fucks at the school and blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
So it's Tyler the whole time.
It's Tyler the whole time.
So the movie is just either really, really bad,
which I
or
think
it's just way too smart, and Taylor and I, it went over our heads. We missed the brilliance of it.
No, you were right the first time.
Yeah.
So tell me what your interpretation was.
I didn't see anything to suggest this at all.
Like I mean,
and now I want to see it again just to.
But there's a reveal, right?
It didn't
I
feel like
understand
a
there's a
reveal.
reveal.
Yeah.
It felt like
I
a separate.
understand.
It felt like a completely different kind of reveal. Honestly, one that I think is almost better than the one he was going for.
It felt like a dip to black transition. It was a change of perspective.
So, but why have such an importance of the reveal of Tyler and no importance on Nadia?
It's a twist.
Because
to me, it's a
at
twist
that point,
reveal.
Tyler is dead.
Yeah.
And
We saw him
that's-
fall out the window.
Yeah, that's how it's confirmed to the audience. And
Yeah.
then it's a deep emotional moment for his mom who
Sure.
views her dead son.
But I mean, the first ghost, though, whoever it is, be it Nadia or someone else, why not have a reveal of any kind for them, but have a reveal for Tyler? That's what I mean.
Because it's a twist. What I saw was a stupid Shyamalan-esque like twist.
Good
because
golly.
the whole time we had some ghost, right?
Yeah.
And the ghost had some unfinished business. The ghost intervenes and saves the life of the girl the ghost seems infatuated with.
Chloe.
Right? Yeah. And then we fade to black. And at that moment, we don't know what happened. We don't know if Chloe survived. We don't know if Tyler survived.
We don't know if Chloe survived? What does that mean?
She had cellophane over her face at the moment.
Oh, you mean it... Wait, what?
When she was being murdered by her boyfriend,
Yeah.
Tyler ran up the stairs and pushed the murderer out the window.
Yeah.
She still had a sheet of cellophane over her face.
We didn't have there wasn't a shot of her, though.
Right. We don't know.
but it was the last known location.
That's
last scene.
That was the last thing I saw. As far as I knew, I didn't know if she survived.
Okay.
We faded to black, and then the first thing we see is that Chloe is still alive.
Yeah.
The house is empty, meaning they are moving out. But we're still from the POV of the ghost.
Yeah.
And so I go, oh, whatever the ghost mission was, this wasn't it, because the ghost is still here, right? So they're leaving, the ghost is staying behind.
Yeah.
Then they reveal Tyler, and then that's the first thing that shows you definitively Tyler didn't survive the fall out the window.
Yeah.
Tyler's dead now, meaning that ghost from before did complete its mission because it saved the girl. So it's moved on, and the twist is this ghost we're seeing now is Tyler.
That's interesting.
That's what just looked what was on the screen.
I felt like that's a lot of headcanon in there because I
felt like it needed zero headcanon. That's just what I saw.
No, what I saw was what they said in the interview. It was that Tyler was the ghost the whole time, and I think that's stupid. I don't like.
Did
this
you feel
reading.
that both times you watched the movie?
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, it's because
I didn't see that at all.
Well, it's because
weird on me.
Yeah, I didn't.
I'm the problem here. I mean, obviously you got it right. So.
I just don't like. I don't like the story. That's the thing that I came away with from the first reading, and that's what made me go, I don't like this movie.
I like your version less than the version I saw, and I didn't like my version.
I'm in this weird place where I liked this movie, but I didn't love it. So I don't share your guys' experience or perspective at all.
Yeah.
But I also don't feel compelled enough to defend the movie intense. Like, all I could say is, like, I don't see it that way, but I don't care.
Well, let me ask you this, Taylor, because one thought that came to me towards the end when I was sort of kind of losing it on the story was, I'm still held here by the gimmick. Right, the experiment, I'll say, to be more respectful to the filmmaker. The experimental part of the movie was what was keeping me here, and it made me question at this point if this movie, if this same story was being told in front of me and shot in just like a traditional coverage sort of way, would I be invested in this, what's happening on the screen? And to me, the answer was a really easy no. Like, just not at all.
Yeah.
So the experiment of it was, I think, the most interesting and cool thing about the movie at all.
I would agree with that completely. Yeah. When I first went into it, I really liked that they weren't doing like a complete a float cam. That it was using a Steadicam thing, whatever they were using, but they had movement in there. I was like, oh, I like that. There was some times that
some of the movement was a little uncanny.
Yeah. I liked that they had some noise, in the shadows.
Yeah, a little rough around the edges.
Yeah, I like that. And that
really low. Do you know how much this movie cost?
No, I imagine pretty low.
Yeah, it was $2 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I noticed sometimes when they were going down the stairs, I could actually see each step.
Right.
Instead of it floating.
I kind of liked that.
I thought it was kind of funny.
It was inconsistent because the first time they did the stairs, they did a very cool floaty effect that I liked. Excuse me.
Sorry. Jeez.
And then in subsequence, there were many times going up and down the stairs, and it wasn't always the same. I mean,
yeah, I would say so. Yeah, it was inconsistent.
I would notice around the edges some digital stabilizing happening as well.
Yeah, I didn't notice too much digital stuff, but I did like that it was a little messy. It felt like to me like it was a human, like it was like the ghost was walking or running really fast. What I didn't like, which I thought was pretty funny in the second time watching this, knowing that this is a person who's going to go save his sister, or assuming it's Tyler.
Well, it is.
Assuming the ghost is Tyler, he's when he's like really close. Oh, there's so many things that's on my mind. One of the things, he sees blonde boy do the cellophane thing, and then so he goes downstairs, but he doesn't run. He's just like, and like it takes him a while. And I'm just like, why? What are you doing right now? And that was the other thing, like you were saying, with the, like, he scares everybody by like, pulling trophies off the wall, rips a poster off the wall, slams the door from 10 feet away. At one point in Chloe's room, not slams the door, he slowly shuts it. yeah, why not do that again?
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Maybe
You're
it
not
takes
wrong.
energy. Do you think about that?
That's why I
You ever
like.
think about that?
What did it
I
mean
did
when he
think about
had
it.
to wake up himself?
What's that?
What did it mean when the ghost had to wake up himself?
Yeah, that's why I think it's a stupid story.
Well, it becomes a time travel movie.
Well,
Right,
no,
it
I get
does.
that. So I'm like, okay, so obviously, I guess what we're talking about is there's two timelines that are mixed up, right? It's non-sequential storytelling where they have
Except
two.
it's told linearly.
It's told linearly, but
Yeah.
but when you go back and see it with your new enlightened eyes, you'll see it that it's two timelines. Wow.
Wait, what do you mean? You mean two timelines as in he died first and then comes back to...
Right.
This is what's weird about it, is that's the time travel element.
Well, that's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
even then, I feel like they pulled some bullshit here because, like, when they're at the dinner table,
Yeah.
right? And the rule of the movie is that we're always watching from the perspective of the ghost.
Yeah.
But there's Tyler sitting at the table having a fight with the family, and the dad is talking directly to him. He's alive.
Yeah.
In this moment.
Like the whole movie he is, yeah.
Right. And we're from the perspective,
Of him, right.
I guess the only way to square it all is that line from The Medium who said past, present, future are all the time,
Right.
all happen at once for the ghost.
Right. So, yeah.
Okay, so I guess I get it. We're just seeing what the ghost sees, and the ghost sees past, present, future mashed up in one. So you can
there
do
it is.
anything you want on the screen.
But the
I guess.
problem, the problem for me with that logic, right, is the same thing with any time travel movie, and that's the grandfather paradox that's happening, where he goes to wake himself up, and because he does that, he dies. So
Right.
like if he didn't, then he wouldn't, right?
Well,
And it's like-
maybe like
But it's
it's an infinite loop.
If it's hard coded, then
right.
he would always be woken up.
There's a story about this. I can't remember exactly, but it's a thing where it's an infinite loop. It's where if you ever time traveled back, that's the thing that had always happened from the beginning, and the actions that played through were only ever going to play through that way, and that's cool, whatever, for a time travel movie, not for a ghost movie, because again, there's no theme attached to that. There's no element of surprise or interest in that for me. But I saw, what was that movie called?
that's called The Time Machine.
The Time Machine, that one. Yeah. So have you seen that movie? There's
With Jude Law?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's a good one.
But I've read the book.
Yeah.
And I saw the original movie, which is awesome.
So I haven't seen the original, but the message in that movie has to do with time travel, where the person tries to time travel back. I'm not spoiling this for anybody.
It's from the 90s, so deal with it.
Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, it's a good movie. Anyway, he time travels back to try to save his wife, and he can't, because whatever happens has already happened, and it will only ever happen that way. And it's neat because it plays into this theme of what's it called? Accepting things just the way they are, and you have to move on, and that's what he does. And he ends up grieving. It goes past that, and it goes more into something really weird at the end that I don't like. But that first initial part is about grieving, and I really like that idea. And this whole movie is about grieving also, and this also has a time travel element in it. I'm not saying that it needs to be the same, but it doesn't seem to say anything with what it's saying.
Yeah, it's very messy then.
It's very experimental.
Yeah, I think Taylor and I saw what we saw because we were seeing it as the cleanest possible version of the story.
Yeah.
That seems like a dirtier version. Like I have to dig deep in order for that to make sense to me.
Yeah, you're weird. You're
Yeah.
really weird.
Yeah, reading things
Yeah,
as
there's
the
something
director
weird about
intended it.
something weird about you. Look. You're the one who understands the shitty script.
Right.
Maybe
That's
we're
true.
like
That's
we're
true.
We
above
were
it.
elevating
We're
it.
above
true.
such things.
That's true.
We were trying to make it better.
I like that. I much like that better. Yeah. 1917 is what I did. I did for 1917 what you guys did for this movie,
I was thinking of bringing up 1917.
for the single take thing.
Yeah. But funny enough, I think I made that observation when we covered that film, that the gimmick got in the way of the storytelling.
Right.
And this film is way worse at that. I felt like the storytelling didn't necessarily merit a big oneer,
Right.
but it also was a much better coherent story than
I liked
this
it.
film.
I liked it better as a gimmick. I liked 1917 better as a movie, but this one I liked as a gimmick because the character was the camera.
Yeah.
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 But still, the ghost thing, again, A Ghost Story and Enter the Void, I think are way better.
Well, I mean, like
Definitely.
a ghost story, the thing it nails so much that this one misses is just emotion. Like,
Yeah,
I just
well-
didn't feel the strong emotional attachment that I did. And I cried in A Ghost Story.
Yeah.
That's
That's a hard-hitting movie.
really hits you in this idea of memory.
And
how,
yeah,
you know.
and again, that one's also about acceptance because you can't go back.
Right.
I like that a lot.
Right.
You said you liked the movie, but you said you didn't feel enthused
Like,
enough to defend
I
it.
didn't walk out of the movie and like, damn, yeah.
Right.
I was like,
You're
all
on
right,
the
yeah, that
positive
was-
reception.
I was like, you know what? I had a great time watching that movie.
Gotcha.
I was caught up in the story and how it was told.
I cannot say I had a great time, but I also do not regret watching it at all. Like it was a more enjoyable time at the theater than a lot of movies I see.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't like a giant piece of shit.
Because it was a cool. They were trying to do a cool thing,
Right.
And
I
and-
saw them trying to do a cool thing and pulling it off for the most part.
Right. Yeah, I did like that a lot. And I really like the trailer. I like the trailer, I think, better than the movie.
See, I felt the other way.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like the trailer at all.
Why didn't
In
you
fact,
like the
I
trailer?
thought it was like, I was like, this is a movie that's hard to cut a trailer to.
The trailer was all words.
No, I like the trailer
It was all
because
press clippings.
it was just vibes. Yeah,
Yeah.
that whole trailer was just like, oh, it's gonna be fucking scary.
vibes that didn't match the movie. at
No,
all.
yeah, no, and the movie wasn't scary. Like I said, it was not a horror movie at all.
I think they put a whole nother score to the trailer.
Yeah. Sorry, you were saying.
The thing I really like about how the story is presented is we're so firmly in the ghost's point of view that it feels voyeuristic.
Yeah.
And it feels like we're peeping in on things we
Right.
shouldn't be hearing.
It kind of feels that way to me. It feels
I wish
like,
they did more with that though. Like
Yeah.
that's a really cool thing.
Yeah.
So I just wasn't really like, it didn't bother me when we didn't hear about resolutions to certain big things that they brought
Well,
up.
sure, if like, but if we stayed in that vein, but it shifted to being like, no, I'm trying to tell you something very specific.
it was because there was a
It
few
felt more
shots.
situational. Like,
Well, there was a few shots that
I
were
didn't.
like,
I don't know if I'd say it's telling you something super specific. More it is than a series of acts that are happening. Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to
That's what
save
I
my
was feeling
sister or
for the
whatever.
first like half of the movie, but then I felt like it definitely shifted to trying to be more of a narrative.
I definitely felt that way. Like the in the beginning, I really liked like looking at it now that I've watched the whole thing again. The beginning scene was really cool, seeing the realtor come in, because I'm like, oh, it's a character that is not in the rest of the movie, and it's just interesting to float by life like that, right? But like you said, Kenny, like the last third of the movie, I felt like was so heavy in this context of who's the blonde guy? What does he have to do? Why is he kept, bringing these drugs? Why does he keep trying to drug people? Like that was a big thing in the movie.
yeah. It was something that was happening in the house. Just how
I like that
saw.
idea. To me, it feels way too poignant because the ghost is so what's the word? Involved with it. Like really tries to look at these things.
The ghost is following one story by that point.
That's what I mean. I feel like it's a sloppy script, but you're saying that it's more of a life, just in the life, just kind of randomly.
that's kind of how I felt.
Yeah.
It was just, this is what's happening in the house.
I like
This
that
is what's
idea
happening
better.
in the house.
I wish I viewed it that way. That's what I wish.
But again, like I'm not saying it's like, I feel like I'm stuck hard defending it more
Right.
than like
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I really care.
Yeah. That's bad, man.
I like headcanon wrote a better ending while watching the movie.
Yeah.
Because I was anticipating what might happen next, and kind of what I was expecting. I think would have been better, and that was so like they're there saying kind of their goodbye to the house at the very end. They're about to leave, and the house is empty, and the ghost is still there floating around. And the ghost has always seemed kind of lonely or ashamed, like it would keep retreating to the closet kind
Yeah.
of thing,
Yeah.
And I'd been very aware of the fact that we had never seen an exterior of the house which is like weird and like, I don't know, it's kind of like uncomfortable in a movie to not have that establishing shot of where you are inside, you know? And I thought if the family all leaves and the ghost stays and the door shuts and they drive away, would have been a better ending of the movie.
I like that.
Just the ghost perspective just stays behind and continues on.
To haunt.
Yeah. Like that, to me, that would have been a better ending.
So the whole movie to me felt like an experiment by a person who usually does very traditional movies. That's what it felt like.
It is that.
Yeah, it felt like Steven Soderbergh decided to make an experimental movie. That's what it felt like. That's what I would contextualize it as. And I don't like that.
Yeah, I actually want to shame him a bit for trying to stick his neck out and make an experimental movie. Shame on him.
It's not a good movie.
He shouldn't do that.
It's not a good movie. I don't like it. I don't have to like it. I don't like it.
Yes, you do.
I don't. I already told you guys. I saw Companion after this, which I know you guys haven't seen yet, but it's like I said, it's made in the same way that many movies are made. It's just, not experimental. And I felt guilty for enjoying that better, enjoying that more than this one.
You should feel bad.
And it was weird that I felt that way because I felt like this movie was really trying something different, and I really wanted to like it because it was trying something different. And it was weird because it doesn't feel, I guess it doesn't feel that genuine to me. I don't see the genuity in this filmmaking. It feels like someone said, you should make a movie that's an experiment, try this, and he said okay. That's what it feels like.
I disagree.
It doesn't feel like it came from a heart.
I disagree.
And if it is, then he's just not that talented.
I disagree.
I don't disagree.
Oh shit.
I think that what you just said might have literally happened, in that someone came to Soderbergh and said, here's an idea for an experimental film to make.
Yeah.
It was probably the screenwriter.
Maybe.
It could be that's where the heart was, where it's like, I got this cool idea, and he's like, sure, I'll do that.
Did you guys see the movie with, I haven't seen it yet, but it's with Tom Hanks. They de-aged him.
I heard that was really bad.
Yeah, what was that movie? Do you remember?
Here.
Or something. Do you remember who that was made by?
Robert Zemeckis.
Right. Like a crazy out there experimental film by Robert Zemeckis, someone who doesn't do that kind of stuff all the time.
Is it out there experimental?
It's with one shot, but it doesn't move.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn, that is pretty cool.
But I've heard a lot of bad things about it, and it makes me think of the same thing. It makes me think of a big player who's not really taking any chances in the same vein that what's his name did with Megalopolis.
Sure.
Like that's like doing something that you're really that you have, because I feel a lot of genuineness from Megalopolis.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel that much with this one.
Yeah.
Present.
Well, yeah, I feel like Coppola definitely risked more.
Yeah.
With what he was doing there.
And I understand the trailers for this one probably were to sell the movie, because there was a lot of quotes about it being scary. That doesn't make any sense at all. I
think this would be a hard movie to sell.
Yeah.
It's the only way to sell the movie.
It's be like the atmospheric movie of the month.
So
I don't know.
I was going to say this movie reminded me of Humans in a way, because Humans is a movie that is shot like a horror movie, but it's a family drama. And it's really cool because they even have jump scares in it, and it's not a horror at all. And I love it for that reason, because it's so experimental in that kind of way. And this one is almost opposite of that.
I think Taylor was the ghost the whole time.
Tyler was the ghost the whole time.
Taylor.
It was Tyler.
Yeah. I don't have anything else to say.
I'm pretty much out of things to say. You?
Yeah.
Sound mixing. I want to talk about sound mixing.
Oh, sure.
I thought it was weird that everyone had the same level of voice despite how their distance from the ghost.
That's just how ghost hearing works.
So I thought that was really cool actually at first, until they started breaking their own rules, and the ghost was like, when he would come, like the time where Tyler and his mom were in the kitchen, they had reverbed voices that were quiet. But in the beginning, when they all came in, you could hear the dad and Chloe from the stairway just as clear as Tyler, who was right next to the camera. I thought that was very strange.
Yeah. It's like I think I would feel totally fine with a a subpar story if the gimmick was executed perfectly, and I would have, or I would have appreciated the film if it had like an excellent story, and the experimental part was adequate but didn't get in the way of that story.
The gimmick was executed very well.
It was executed fairly well.
I think only the gimmick.
Well above average execution.
Let me put it this
gimmick.
way: for most of the movie, it worked. For most of the movie, it did work.
Actually, I think that it worked the whole movie.
I don't.
Taylor is this movie's biggest defender.
You said you sound pretty enthusiastic about defending it. Actually, yeah.
This is what I'm trying to, because like everything you guys say, I feel the opposite.
Yeah.
But it makes it look like I'm very passionate about the movie.
It does feel that way.
But it forces me to be that way.
I'm not making you do anything, Taylor.
No, if I sit here and be like, when I put my opinion in, I'm like, I 100% disagree with you. I think the exact opposite.
Yeah.
And then it makes me overrate the movie.
I understand.
So I feel like
we understand what you're saying.
I feel like that's what I've been like every episode of Talkies, where every time that you guys both like a movie.
Yeah, you're usually the annoying one.
Yeah. I come in with like, oh yeah, I didn't see the movie that you guys did, but it was fine. That's how I felt. Yeah.
Isn't that neat? How we can all have a different experience with a movie?
No.
Oh,
it's extremely frustrating.
It's very frustrating. How are we supposed to judge art if there's no objective?
How do we know if it was actually good?
Yes, exactly. We need someone to tell us. We need a metric.
Speaking of which.
Oh, I got it.
Yes.
Yeah. I got it. It's completely off the top of my head. But what if this movie was a pizza? What kind of pizza would it be?
You know, that is the experimental type of thinking that this movie calls for.
There you go. So Taylor's is going to be really good. I can already tell.
Michelin star.
Knowing this guy, he's going to give us the best pizza we've ever heard of.
Yeah, man.
He loved this movie.
Yeah.
Won't stop gushing.
Guys,
Won't stop gushing.
Look, this is my favorite movie of the year.
Yeah,
okay,
clearly.
Tell me things that you didn't like about the movie.
Honestly, not a lot really stuck out to me that like I really didn't like.
The fact that Tyler was the ghost the whole time. I know that was
I don't like that. Now that I know that, I don't like that. Some of the camera work. I think some of the lighting I didn't love.
It was fine.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying. I want to hear your pizza.
My pizza is. Your roommate goes out.
My roommate?
Yeah.
Chris?
Yes. Your roommate. Your roommate goes out to this pizza place where their gimmick is they do by the slice, but they take their pizza and they put it on like a black stone, and they let some of the cheese overflow so the cheese gets real crispy on the edges. And your roommate got a cheese pizza from this place, got 2, and brought it home, and you go into the fridge later and you steal his extra slice and eat it, and you're like, yeah, that's pretty good.
That's very specific. All right, so
I'm gonna need some time to interpret that.
Yeah.
So it's not fresh. You didn't get it from there.
Sure.
It's not even yours.
But if anyone tried to talk shit about that pizza, you'd be like, no. That's not true. It is good. That is good pizza. I'm not saying it's the best, but you're just not going to let anyone talk shit about it. I get it.
Okay, so I don't have one yet.
Okay. I could go.
Go.
Sure. So there's a new pizza place in town, and their whole thing, it's a very eccentric pizza artist runs the place, and his whole thing is that the real beauty is in watching someone else eat the pizza. And so like you buy tickets and you go in and you watch someone
by admission.
Yeah, and you watch somebody else eat this pizza like a performance art, and you think this sounds really interesting, and so you go and do it, and it is for the most part pretty interesting, and you're like, whoa, but at the end you're hungry still.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So that's this movie. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah. You didn't eat it.
You didn't eat it.
You watched someone else eat it, and they told you that was cool.
Okay. I think it's really simple for me. This is a taco pizza, as in a pizza that, you look at the menu and they say it's a taco pizza, and it comes with all this, taco stuff on it. But when you get it, it's all it is just a regular pizza, but it has taco meat on it.
Oh.
That's it. Yeah.
CPK used to have a taco pizza. It was really good.
But it's not the good one. No, it's just a pepperoni pizza,
You remember
and it
CPK?
has taco meat.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Remember the good old
We're
days?
in CPK right now.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
This is a CPK.
Coming to you live from CPK.
That's right.
It's the Talkies.
It's our sponsor.
Cheese pizza ketchup.
We're being
Cheese pizza ketchup.
we're sponsored by an out of business pizza chain.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well, you've been watching the Talkies.
We learned a lot here.
We did.
Yeah. I'm amazed we survived that. We got
learned,
pretty divided.
We learned that David Coop did mean to have Tyler to be the ghost the whole time.
That was
That
a
is
big
weird. That's weird.
That probably was the biggest revelation of our episode.
I'm open to being wrong. I was wrong.
Oh, well, synopsis have all the answers, so.
They do. Thank you.
Yeah.
I know that now.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't believe anything published in GQ magazine.
Me neither. No, fuck GQ. What the fuck even is GQ?
Yeah.
Dairy Queen.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Jerry Queen?
That's DQ.
Jerry Queen.
Oh.
Gary Queen.
I thought the D stood for the G.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your Gary is a queen.
Wow. End us.
Who's Gary?
Please end us.
End me now.
We've been talking about presents in case you forgot, and this is the Talkies.
wish I
Thanks
forgot.
for watching, and fade to black.